To get the installation going, obviously I'm going to shorten this quite a bit here, but you got to install the antenna and the radios. Okay. Some people will do this in different orders. I'm not going to argue which is the best way to do it. But you got to get your antenna and the radio up on the tower. You've got to get it in place on your structure. Some people will get the antenna up there and then attach the radio. Some people put the radio on and the antenna and set the whole thing up in one piece. I suppose it all depends on your situation, what tools you have available to you to hoist the antenna up, or if somebody's got to hold it, weight's going to change some of that. A lot of retirement installations going to correlate mostly to a split system because it's a little bit more work to install, but so you can kind of assume when I say IF cable, we're also talking about Ethernet here. But you've got to run that intermediate frequency cable, that coax cable, from the outdoor unit down to the indoor unit over your shelter. Okay? You've got to do the grounding, and we'll talk about that. Now you've got to install the IDU in the rack, obviously. Once everything's installed, now's the time to power it up. I'll see some first-time customers that power up the IDU, then they run their IF connector, they're terminating it with the power on it, and sure enough, they end up shorting it. And they end up sending back their brand new IDU and paying $600 for us to fix it. Okay? So that's the last thing you want to do when you got a brand new thing, is have to send it back and be delayed a week or two while we were fixing it for you and pay more. So, huh?
Would you say they do what?
They will, I've seen people or heard of people that power up the IDU and then are working on the IF cable. And they'll terminate it, or they're plugging it in, and somehow or other they'll manage to short it. And once they short it, they end up breaking the IDU, and they've got to send it back.
So let me understand, before you hook the transmitter up and power it up, you really want the antenna to be plugged into it?
You really want everything to be wired up completely. And then you come over here and you flip the switch to on.
Go figure.
Okay? If you're going to do anything with the IF cable or the ODU, you want to make sure that this is off. Okay? Best bet, turn the power off at the switch, unplug the power from the front, whichever it is. PoE, same deal, you can unplug it. If for whatever reason you can't do that, at least turn the ODU power off. Okay, the command's ODU power off, I showed you yesterday. That's going to disconnect the 48 volts that's on this connector, make it go away. And that's definitely going to save you some trouble down the road. Okay. Once you've got it powered up, you're going to have to align the link. Okay? So that's the process we kind of went through yesterday. Obviously it was a little easier in the 50 feet apart scenario. But we're going to have to do the alignment, and we'll talk about exactly how to do that in a second. And then you make any final adjustments, okay? Then this would be that time that you could go through and set up your SNMP trap receivers or any of that if you didn't do it already. Of course, I think it'd be best if you did it before it went